Hi there, I'm Lillian Larty from iwantmybodyback.co.uk, and in today's video I've come to talk to you about 5 mistakes to avoid when sorting out your back, neck, shoulder and hip pain. Now, it's very common for me to discover certain mistakes that people make trying to sort out their back, neck, shoulder and hip pain. Of course, you're in pain, so you'll do anything that you can to get rid of that pain. However, in a majority of cases, people are making common mistakes, which I thought, well, you know what, let me address this. So if this sounds like you, spot if you're making any of the following mistakes. So there are 5 common mistakes that people make. In this video, I'm going to cover 3 of them and then cover 2 in the next video. So the first common mistake I notice people making is they just leave the pain. They're in pain, but they just leave it. For whatever reason, they feel that, well, if I ignore it or if I just leave it, it will go on its own accord. Well, no, it won't. What tends to happen is when you're in pain, your body will send signals to the brain, telling the brain, well, hold on, you're in pain, you've got to do something about this. But if you choose to ignore those signals and those warning signs, then what happens is those messages get less and less and less until you feel like, oh, well, the pain is gone, I'm feeling much better. However, it's either the signals have died down, so they're not sending those pain signals anymore to the brain because you're ignoring it, or your body will start to compensate. So you'll either start to move differently or walk differently or do things differently in avoidance of causing pain in that certain area. This in turn will then lead on to another problem. So sometimes people can come to me about pain in one area, whereas it could be what we call a referred pain. The actual root cause of the pain is somewhere else. So my advice is, whenever you've got pain in your back, neck, shoulder or hip or in any part of your body, go and seek professional advice from a specialist who deals with those areas as soon as you can, okay? Mistake number 2 that I find a majority of people make is that they just throw anything at that pain to try and cure it. Now, what do I mean? Well, I've had cases where clients have come to see me and they say, well, Lillian, I've had this pain for some time. So I ask, okay, so what are you doing to help, or what have you done to help with that pain? And they'll say to me, well, Lillian, I've used this painkiller, or I've put this pain gel on it. I've been for steams, I've had hot baths, I've numerous things that they've just thrown at it in the hope that the pain will go. Now, yes, there is a place for using pain gels and painkillers, especially if you've got inflammation. However, if your body is out of alignment, or you've pulled a muscle, or you've severely hurt your joint, no amount of pain gels or painkillers is going to help that. You're going to need to get specialist advice and someone to look over you and do some type of assessment to see what is actually going on. Also to find out what the root cause is so that they can apply the appropriate actions or the appropriate solution for you to get out of that pain. So whatever you do, avoid throwing everything at it, but again, seek professional advice on what to do. And mistake number 3, which I find a majority of people make when trying to get rid of their back, neck, shoulder and hip pain, is that they either do lots of exercise to combat that pain, or they do no exercise to combat that pain, or they do a lot of the wrong type of exercise to combat that pain. I'll break that down. So what tends to happen is, again, a client will come and see me and I say, well, okay, so what are you doing to help yourself in managing this pain? So they say, oh, well, because it was really irritating me, I thought I'd go and do this exercise, and I've done this class, and I've started doing this, and it stops for a while, but then it comes back and it hurts me again. And I'm like, well, that's because you're doing too much of the exercises. Or I get clients who won't do any movements whatsoever because they're scared that they'll make the pain worse. Or I'll get a client who will come and they're doing lots of exercise. It's the right type of exercise, but they're applying it incorrectly. So again, what needs to happen is, and what I usually find is, when I help clients ease their back, neck, shoulder and hip pain, they expect me to give them quite a lot of exercises to do. But however, on the contrary, what I find is less is more. So it's not so much about the quantity of the exercises, but it's about applying the right exercise. So in some cases, I might give a client maybe one exercise to do, and then they come back and see me again the next week, and then we'll see how we get on with that exercise, and I might give them another one. I may not. It depends on the circumstances of the pain. In other cases, I might give someone 3 exercises. It really does depend on the individual, how fit they are, and the type of pain that they're carrying. So if you find you're making this mistake by either chucking loads of exercise at your body to try and combat that pain, or you're doing no exercise at all, or you're applying the right type of exercise in the wrong way, then again, hold back, get help from a professional or a specialist, and make sure that you're doing the right exercises, if any, appropriately. So, are you making any of those mistakes? If you are, then stop and get yourself some professional or specialist advice to check you over and to help you get rid of that back, neck, shoulder and hip pain. All right. Now, like I said, these are 5 common mistakes that I see people make. I've covered 3 so far. I'm going to cover the next 2 in the next video. So this is what my clients do. They come and see me to get the advice and the professional help that they need to get rid of their back, neck, shoulder and hip pain. I advise you to do the same. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you in the next video.